Hey Stevie,
Hey,
I just wanted to say I am so proud of you. You're making a name for yourself, and look at you now. You're 1CW Women's Champion, and you defended it how many times already?
just a couple.
Oh, girl! And you're defending it again tonight against me. Oh, girl, it's about to be so great. I'm so proud of you, and we're about to throw it down.
Hell yeah. No, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be the 1CW Women's Champion, and of course I'm gonna honor the rematch. And seriously, I mean, I've learned so much from you, and it's always a great match with you in the ring. So looking forward to it tonight. See you out there.
Hello everyone, I'm Juan Antonio Acebito and you are watching 1CW, and today we have a huge show ahead of us. In our opening contest, Christian Darling will be in action as he faces Johan Nara. Also on this episode, the women's title will be on the line as Stevie Brooks is challenged by Big Daddy Adriana. Can Stevie Brooks overcome the odds, or will be Adriana making history and becoming a fourth-time women's champion? And in our main event, Brian Morris will be defending the 1CW Heavyweight Championship against Ranch Hand Carlson. Right now, let's take a look at how this match came about.
August is always a great month here in 1CW. 5 years ago in this very building, I met my wife.
Woo! Yeah!
But it's also always a special show because it's Sean Hardy's birthday show.
Yeah!
So if I could get all the Hardys up here, Sean Hardy, if I could get you out of the back out here. Alright, if y'all can help me, I'm gonna start it, y'all take it over though. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sean. Happy birthday. No, 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 no. There will be no celebration in this ring until the new 1CW champion gets his celebration. I am the 1CW champion. I didn't come here tonight to not even know who my opponent is.
Well, welcome to the ring, and we can talk about your opponent right now. You came out here ready for a celebration. If we're going to celebrate greatness, I want you to defend it like a man and defend it here tonight, and I do have a challenger for you. You want me to bring him out right now? He's right here. And to make matters better, Mr. Morris, I brought in a gentleman who's been in quite a few wars, somebody I know that's not going to put up with any of your BS tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, to make sure the ring chain gets a third shot, something to tie off and didn't get, Mr. Jim Nara.
I'm here to keep an eye on you, and if anyone's going to get extreme, it's going to be me.
And there we have it. Today in our main event, Brian Morris will be defending the 1CW Heavyweight Championship against Ranchan Carlson. But right now, let's quickly move on to our opening contest. Christian Darling is in action and he goes one-on-one against Johan Nara.
Christian Darling's a really good, what we usually call all-arounder. He seems to really have a good grasp on all of his different moves. He has a good grasp on different styles of wrestling, which is what I meant to say. He's definitely a powerhouse.
What an impressive physique on Christian Darling. Usually Johan Nara kind of intimidates with his size and presence, but no fear in the eyes of Christian Darling.
Christian Darling getting the chance with Johan Nara because he's really up for a challenge. He wanted to start getting in there with some of the better established wrestlers in 1CW. A good test for a new wrestler in this company is definitely Johan Nara, who's working his way up the rankings over the past couple months.
Christian Darling, known as Prime Time, asked where that nickname came from. He said he is in his prime and it is always his time.
Getting a little bit of a clinic here. Both men getting some technical wrestling in. Great lockup, back elbow.
Johan
Christian
Nara
Darling
prides himself on being a mix of lucha, strong style, and striking. Says he changes his style to fit this situation. And right now we almost saw some frustration out of Johan Nara, kind of trying to figure out what exactly the right style to win this situation will be.
Again, that power behind Christian Darling. And look at how explosive he is.
Christian Darling has said that he is driven by the crowd. He's addicted to the noise. It almost serves to power him up. Wow, the impressive strength by Christian Darling.
That is what you call showing up and throwing down. Beautiful frog splash cover.
Forget Wendy. If Peter wanted to take out Captain Hook, he should have picked up Christian Darling. This guy can fight. I guess he needed a mother, but if he needed a fighter, Christian's the right Darling.
Yes. Kick to the stomach. Johan Nara trying to get a little bit of control in this match.
Johan Nara now taking advantage. The legit one. Johan Nara is a solo operator in a company that is really built around alliances like 1CW. Johan Nara has been an iconoclast by refusing to make friends.
And I can tell you, and you've seen this too, even in the locker room, doesn't talk to anybody, just kind of comes in, shows up, does his thing, and leaves.
Keeps to himself. It's been very effective for Johan Nara, but curious to see
Excellent.
exactly where Christian Darling finds himself in the ecosystem of 1CW. You know, a lot of high-ticket players have been watching and taking notice of Christian Darling.
Quick cover. 2 count.
Darling gets that shoulder up. Not a lot of pressure on that far shoulder, allowing Darling the opportunity, but you see clutching at that jaw, showing off just how powerful the strikes of Johan Nara have been so far. We've seen that Christian Darling likes to fight with a reckless abandon. He just likes to show up and throw down, which is very different than the very tactical pace of Johan Nara.
And Johan there showing some dirty tactics we really haven't seen from him, arguing with the ref that he gets a 5 count when he goes for that, when he went for That choke, scratching Christian Darling's eyes across the ropes.
And Christian Darling introducing Johan Nara to the canvas in a way one can only be described as uncomfortable.
We're seeing why Christian Darling's prime time.
And when you ever see Christian Darling reach out to the crowd, he's not showboating, he is powering up. That is how the man energizes himself.
This is Johan Nara. Johan with a big boot.
You've heard of photosynthesis? Replace light with sound, make a Latin word, and that's what Christian Darling does. He converts sound into energy. As you start to hear this crowd come to life behind him, you're gonna see the energy start to increase as long as Darling has enough time.
As an English major, I'm gonna point out that's oral synthesis.
Thought it was Latin. We saw Johan Nara trying to go for that legit cutter. Thankfully for him,
There it is.
the dark, twisted fantasy of Christian Darling.
Christian Darling with an emphatic win.
And your winner of this match, Primetime Christian Darling!
If you've got one person to keep on your card to watch in 1CW, it is that man, Christian Darling.
Johan Nara is going to have nightmares about what might have been after falling prey to the dark, twisted fantasy that is Christian Darling.
Right now, two friends go to war as Stevie Brooks defends the 1CW Women's Championship against Big Daddy Adriana. This match starts right now.
She's unique. She's not like other girls. She's Becky.
You just heard from Morgan. She's quirky, she's unique, she's not like other girls, but most importantly, Stevie Brooks is not to be underestimated. It was a shocking turn of events when Stevie Brooks, in only her second match in 1CW, won the title from the most dominant woman, I would say maybe the most dominant champion across all the divisions that we have here in 1CW.
Of course, Adriana looking to get back that big belt.
This is the summer of Stevie Brooks in Chapel Roan. Stevie metaphorically riding her pink pony to victory here tonight. I have no idea what that song is about, and I'm hoping that I am even close to using that metaphor correctly.
I don't even know what song you're talking about because I am old.
Yeah, next to you I look hip. And Adriana, Stevie Brooks have, I think you might call it a frenemy-ship. There is a respect but a deep rivalry between these two. It's been a matter of one-upsmanship over the last few months.
It's been some one-upsmanships. Stevie Brooks, while she is champion, been in 1CW very short time. Still trying to get the lay of the land. Adriana, Big Daddy's definitely the one at the advantage here.
Tail of the tape, these two are very evenly matched, similarly sized, similar styles. Of course, we have watched over the last 2 years Adriana harden like a diamond. She is sharp in the ring these days, and Stevie Brooks still, I think, in her first or second year in the business right now.
Stevie Brooks, inverted DDT leg combo.
Hit the summer crush, and Adriana able to get out at one. Stevie Brooks likes to say she is your favorite artist, favorite wrestler. She's beloved by tastemakers, people with a lot of...
She's an influencer's influence.
That's exactly right. Changing the culture, and now the title may be changing.
I think as this match goes on, we're going to see an angrier and angrier Big Daddy.
Big Daddy has been gaining a lot of attention, has some really big opportunities coming up. Is that causing her to lose sight of the 1CW title? Not a chance. That is her baby.
Cover.
Back cover allowed for that far shoulder to be able to roll up. Less energy than having to kick out. Adriana has become one of the faces of the company.
And I've got to say, I've been married for, I think, 12 years now, maybe. If my wife left me for Big Daddy, I'd understand.
Well, we know exactly what Mike will be talking about in therapy next week.
Beautiful roll up.
Great leverage, and Adriana does it.
4-time champion.
Well on her way to becoming Adriana well on her way to becoming one of the most decorated champions in company history, bar none. All stop, no caveats.
Stevie Brooks celebrating with Adriana. Such respect between these two. Stevie Brooks attacking Adriana from behind.
A little bit less frenemy, a little more enemy. A little less conversation, a little more action.
Maybe T Swift needs to ask Stevie Brooks why you gotta be so mean.
Why be a hero when you can be an anti-hero? Stevie Brooks does not want to let go of the gold. This is supposed to be the summer of Stevie, and instead, Adriana looking on in confusion.
Congratulations to Big Daddy Adriana, who just became a 4-time 1CW Women's Champion. And everyone at home, your next chance to see Big Daddy Adriana live will be on Saturday, September 14th, as 1CW presents Lines Crossed from the Houston Volunteer Fire Department in Delaware. For more information about this event, please make sure to visit us on our social media. And ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for our main event. Brian Morris defends the 1CW Heavyweight Championship against Ryan Chan Carlson. Let's take a look right now how this match came about.
August is always a great month here in 1CW. 5 years ago in this very building, I met my wife.
Woo! Yeah!
But it's also always a special show because it's Sean Hardy's birthday show.
Yeah!
So if I could get all the Hardys up here, Sean Hardy, if I could get you out of the back out here. All right, if y'all can help me, I'm gonna start it. Y'all take it over though. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sean. Happy birthday. No, 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 no. There will be no celebration in this ring until the new 1CW champion gets his celebration. I am the 1CW champion. I didn't come here tonight to not even know who my opponent is.
Well, welcome to the ring, and we can talk about your opponent right now. You came out here ready for a celebration. If we're going to celebrate greatness, I want you to defend it like a man and defend it here tonight, and I do have a challenger for you. You want me to bring him out right now? He's right here. And to make matters better, Mr. Morris, I brought in a gentleman who's been in quite a few wars. Somebody I know that's not going to put up with any of your BS tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, to make sure the Ranchand gets a fair shot, something that Ty Olsen didn't get, Mr. Jim Nara.
I'm here to keep an eye on you, and if anyone's going to get extreme, it's going to be me.
A lot of things have been going on today at 1CW, including the crowning of a new women's champion, but the celebration was cut short. Let's take a look.
Look at you now, you're 1CW Women's Champion. And
I'm so honored to be the 1CW Women's Champion, and of course I'm going to honor the rematch. I've learned so much from you, and it's always a great match with you in the ring.
The following contest is for the 1CW Women's Championship.
Of course, we have watched over the last 2 years Adriana harden like a diamond.
Stevie Brooks. Inverted DDT leg
The
combo.
hit the summer crush.
She's an influencer's influence.
That's exactly right. Not a chance. That is her baby.
Beautiful roll up.
Great leverage, and Adriana does it.
4-time champion. Stevie Brooks celebrating with Adriana. Such respect between these two. Stevie Brooks attacking Adriana from behind.
A little bit less frenemy, a little more enemy. A little less conversation, a little more action. Adriana looking on in confusion. Seems like Stevie Brooks is only willing to be friends with you if she knows she's superior. The second that she's threatened, well, she makes those threats into physicality.
Right now, the time for a main event has arrived. Ranchand Carlson challenges Brian Morris for the 1CW Heavyweight Championship. Let's go directly to the action right now.
Heavyweight champion Brian Morris. He is not an heir apparent. He is not a golden prince any longer. No, no, no. This is now officially your auric eminence, Brian Morris.
Brian Morris won the title just a few weeks ago from Ty Awesome. Ty Awesome is not here to have his rematch clause. So instead, Brian Morris got surprised a little bit earlier today.
Many were disappointed by Brian Morris revealing that a lot of the personal growth that we had thought we had seen out of the man was perhaps less than sincere. But I gotta ask, do you blame the scorpion for its sting? Do you blame the snake for its sins? It's in his nature. Brian Morris deceives, Brian Morris lies, now we know. Fool me once, shame on you. If he fools us again, then it's our fault.
And out comes a man that he has stood toe-to-toe with and traded wins with multiple times. The ranch hand, Sean Carlson.
These two had an unforgettable 30-minute Iron Man match, and Sean Carlson's not a man that trusts easily, but he was very on the record of really never fully believing the Brian Morris that we saw over the last year was the real man. Got to give credit where it's due. Sean Carlson, well, he's got a BS detector that works. And you're right. With Ty Awesome not here, Brian Morris expected that he wouldn't have to wrestle this evening. So to quote two different Dantes, one, I wasn't supposed to be here today, and two, this is hell.
Also, before this match gets started, we want to introduce ECW Original Jim Mono. Gonna make sure I said it right. Legend 2300. All right, it is time for your main event of the evening. It is for the 1CW Pro Wrestling Championship, and it is set for one fall. Introducing first, to my left, from the 4 Sixes of Delaware, weighing in at 230 pounds of pure pissed off, and he is going to be the man to take the 1CW Pro Wrestling Champion to NWA. I give you the White Buffalo, Richard Carlson! And standing to my right, weighing in at 185 pounds, from the Meadowlands of East Rutherford, New Jersey, he is your reigning, defending, undisputed 1CW Pro Wrestling Champion, Wonderboy Brian Morris.
Brian Morris coming in with a shotgun dropkick.
You'll note special guest referee Jim Molyneux of ECW fame brought in and given a very specific remit. Brian Morris is willing to disqualify himself. He's willing to cheat. He is willing to walk away with that title by any means necessary, so don't let him. Give these men a little bit of room, give them a little bit of latitude. Effectively, this match is under old school ECW extreme style rules.
Again, both these men know each other so well. They've fought so many times in the past.
They have taken each other to their limit. We have seen in the past that Brian Morris can match toughness, blow for blow with Sean Carlson, but that Sean Carlson can match cardio with Brian Morris.
Brian Morris earlier this week very emphatically said that tonight his reign of terror in 1CW begins.
And it started possibly with separating the shoulder of Sean Carlson. That's going to change the complexion of this match right from the get-go. Not only did he say...
You'll notice that the referee isn't counting right now. Like we said, that's that latitude that he's giving them.
And Brian Morris has promised a new era in 1CW to start tonight. Flying Buffalo. You may know that Delaware is the home of the chicken farm, and that is true, but in addition, this state is where the white buffalo roam, because it's the state that gave birth to Sean Carlson.
Carlson in the ring, Brian Morris ducks over, up and down.
This is so personal on so many levels right now for Sean Carlson. First off, he has a deep distaste for Brian Morris, but also Sean Carlson is a former 1CW champion, and he held it for all of about 5 minutes, Mike. He tasted it, but he wants the full meal.
I'm pretty sure Sean Carlson's one of the few people to win just about every championship in 1CW.
And Brian Morris begging off, maybe realizing just how rough a situation this title reign is in. This is a very difficult first defense, and there is nothing a champion fears more than having 0 successful title defenses on their resume.
Carlson very nicely faking out Morris. Morris slides out of the ring. Morris knows that he's only going to beat Carlson if he can be the one that sets the pace of this match.
When it comes to heart and desire, Sean Carlson is unmatched. But when it comes to strategy, I do believe that Brian Morris may have the number of Sean Carlson, because Sean Carlson has no guile. Your Sean Carlson is what you see is what you get, and Brian Morris has proven he can play the long game over years.
Which he just did in 1CW. We just saw a year and a half of him changing, showing two faces, being the guy that really started to rain down on 1CW, now imposing his will the same way that he did to get that championship.
But by exposing himself, Brian has given up one of his advantages. Now everyone knows, everyone in the locker room, everyone in the office, all of the officials, the crew, everyone knows exactly what kind of man Brian is in, and it will take a lot to ever pull off a scam like that again. That's why we brought in Jim Molyneux right here, counting, and only one. Another reason this is so personal for Sean Carlson, as you heard announced, Sean will be making his debut for the storied National Wrestling Alliance coming up. It is a huge moment in the career of Sean Carlson, and he wants to bring the 1CW title to that national platform. That only happens if he wins the title tonight. And of course, last but personally not least, Sean Carlson is expecting his second child as his head is being squished against the mat. He wants to win this title, to have it, to welcome his baby into the world and show, hey, look, Daddy is a champion and someone you can be and should be proud of.
Sean Carlson just trying to catch his breath here. It is so oppressive in this arena tonight. The heat, the humidity, and both of these men are going out there laying 125% on the line so that they can both walk out of here champions.
That context is incredibly important. It really informs the decision and the conditioning of these athletes. No lie, we are dripping buckets just sitting here. You can already see these men covered in a sheen of sweat. It makes things a lot harder to hold on to, Mike. The ropes, each other.
And there goes Carlson tumbling out.
Because when the AC goes out, you lose your cool real quick.
Beautiful up and over by Morris. Both men on the floor. Carlson down.
These two fought in the past over the DSN title. That was the pride and joy of Sean Carlson for a long time. But now he has an opportunity to really establish himself holding Big Blue. I want to talk a little bit about just what a betrayal it was by Brian Morris, not just to Ty Awesome, who gave him that opportunity, but also to the fan base here that really took a long time, but finally truly accepted Brian Morris as a hero.
And you can almost say that they were loving Brian Morris. They were enjoying the new side to him.
Morris now a DDT to Carlson on the outside. And all Brian Morris has to do is roll in the ring and let the referee count to 10, and he can walk away without a further scratch on him.
Referee slow count.
There he is in the ring.
Is he going to allow a DQ win if
it's not
Carlson
a
stays out
DQ?
there?
This is a count out. Wait a second, Brian. Brian's willing to get disqualified. But Molyneux knows how to get extreme.
Molyneux has refereed matches for the greats such as Scott Hall, Dusty Rhodes, Terry Funk. Brian
Morris is reasonably upset about the, let's say, measured count that Jim Molyneux is taking. Another word is incredibly slow. And unfortunately, Brian's temper getting the best of him, interrupting that count. He may have already won the match if he didn't get in the face of the referee. That was a self-afflicted wound.
Brian Morris, of course, sometimes to the detriment of himself.
But you see Brian Morris targeting the shoulder that he injured when he threw Carlson into the post immediately. Strategy paying dividends down the line. Brian looking to create a golden era for himself here in 1CW.
Backing Carlson into the corner, going again for the neck. Molyneux separating Brian physically.
And if you wondered if, despite all of their animosity, did Brian learn under the tutelage of Chris Wilde over the year that he was sort of his disciple, his little brother, well, wonder no further. He has taken every trick. He has learned everything he could from the Heart Killer and the former champion.
Unfortunately for him, though, Jim Molyneux has learned more tricks than Brian Morris will ever know. He's been with some of the greats in the ring. Jim Molyneux has probably forgotten more about what somebody can do to get disqualified than Brian Morris will ever try to figure out.
Sean Carlson, we know he is double tough with a leather hide, which makes it all the more surprising to see just how out on his feet, or out on his knees, the White Buffalo is right now. But a fire is starting to burn inside, waking up just a little bit.
Just going hand over fist.
Carlson has taken a lot of punishment. Is this going to be enough to turn the tide?
Amazing drop kick cover.
Picture perfect right to the temple. Only 2, but it shows just how far ahead Morris is in this match over Carlson.
Step up Enziguri, rolling him over.
Shoots the half. Lifeless body, just enough gas still in the tank to get a shoulder up. Sean Carlson is reeling. You see, trying to get some feeling back in the finger. Possibly suffering some nerve damage.
Brian Morris just looks pissed off.
Well, again, Brian Morris really thought that he was just going to come and have a celebration today, not have a match. Would you? Okay, Brian. This may be an error in judgment. I do believe that Brian is a strategic genius, but sometimes he's a hothead too.
Beautiful cover. We could have a new champ.
Unforced error, and I'm sorry. That was a quick count.
A little bit quick.
We got to be unbiased if the officiating won't be. That was a little quick.
If you don't want to bias ref, you should keep your hands off of it.
That's true. Brian doesn't do a good job at making friends and influencing people. Does the run of the Wonder Boy end before it even gets a chance to begin?
This whole crowd behind Sean Carlson, both men struggling to get to their feet. Morris hammering the head of Carlson.
The title is on the line. Personal animosity is in the air. This is a big fight feel here in Houston, Delaware.
If there's one man that can dethrone Brian Morris this quickly, it is Sean Carlson.
It really is a battle for the soul of the promotion. What are we going to be going forward? Are we going to be efficient and almost corporate like Brian Morris? Are we going to be tough? And are we going to be homegrown like Sean Carlson?
Ducks under. Carlson ducks. Takes out Jim Molyneux.
And that lariat knocking our official down, and now everything is on the table. And we've seen both these men use a lot of plunder. We've seen both these men take advantage of a situation, but you got to assume this is in the favor of Brian Morris, who has no morality, no compunctions.
This is where Brian Morris shines.
Brian savoring the opportunity, but Carlson had it scouted. And Sean Carlson with an invitation to Brian Morris that something tells me he won't accept.
Beautiful lariat.
This could end it, but there's no referee.
Double underhook. Cowpoke killer.
Brian Morris is out. You can count to 10. and it's unlikely he'd get up, and Sean Carlson's not done.
Carlson's gonna fly.
It's rare we see Carlson leave his feet by his own volition.
Unfortunately, the ref is out.
We were up to 8. We were up to a count of 8 before Carlson realized he was in a no-win situation. We got to get a referee out here. We got to get somebody to wake up Jim Molyneux, and now Carlson literally going to go backstage and grab a referee.
Giving Morris a lot of time to recover, giving him a chance to get his composure back. But it sounds like Carlson.
Wait a second, I heard a chair. I heard the sound of a steel chair. We just saw a figure in the back. I'm getting word that something.
Christian Darling.
Christian Darling is walking out, and I don't see Sean Carlson.
I think Sean Carlson's on the floor.
Christian Darling is decimating Sean Carlson, and we knew there were some top talent that were prospecting Christian Darling, but has an offer already been made, or is this Christian Darling auditioning for Brian Morris?
Christian Darling, a huge man.
Prime time powerhouse Christian Darling
putting Carlson up on his shoulders.
This is a feat.
Look at the smile on Brian Morris's face.
Now it really is a dark, twisted fantasy. That TKO variation, and now Brian Morris begging and pleading for Jim Molyneux to wake up.
The referee barely coming up to it.
Did it all work out? It did!
And Brian Morris is still the 1CW Pro Wrestling Champion.
And when one grift ends, another begins.
The winner of this match, and still 1CW Pro Wrestling Champion, Wonderboy Brian Morris.
What an association that clearly is going to continue to pay dividends. Brian Morris and Christian Darling.
Christian handing Brian the championship. Both men celebrating in the middle of the ring.
This is a real set of power players. These are some high-level traders in 1CW futures. Darling and Morris. Oh, I mean, that sounds like some top-level talent taking over this business.
You guys can hear how the crowd feels. My name's Mike Fresh. That's Jason Heat. This is 1CW on Delmarva Sports Network.
Brian Morris just proved that he will do whatever it takes to hold on to the 1CW Heavyweight Championship. And with that, we come to an end for this episode. Everyone, have a great day.